going to be interview number 18. How do you know Blake Builder?
Man, I met Blake because we fought on the amateur scene together in one fight.
Yeah.
And we kind of just kind of respected what each other was doing ever since that day because we both won an amateur belt at that event. And we were promotion's first champions, and we kind of followed each other a little bit, and we just kind of started like messaging each other, talking a little bit, and next thing you know, we had like one of those broski moments one time. And I forgot what it was about. I think I said something to him like, "Hey, go ahead and purify yourselves in the water, like time." He's like, "Bro, me and my boy Ben say that shit like that all the time." And I'm like, "Man, do we just call broskies?" He's like, yeah. 2 weeks later, he came down to Madison. And we hung out, and he's been like my brother since. Him and our other best friend, Ben Boonshoe.
Okay.
Yeah, he's getting married later on this year. I'm gonna be a groomsman in his wedding.
Shouts out.
Yeah, me and Blake both. So
he did want me to tell you that you're ugly. He did. Those were his words.
He did not say that.
Yeah, he did. Don't kill the messenger.
Don't call me ugly, G.
But that's great. Blake's great. I want to get him on. He's trying to get. People are dodging his ass, trying to get fights and shit.
Yeah, man. He's been having problems like that since he was an amateur.
He's a Terminator. It's unbelievable what he's able to do with his body and his skill set. It's crazy as shit.
I know.
But speaking of other equally as talented murderers, let's get into your career. Where did you kick off your foray in combat sports?
So I started my career out in Wisconsin here. I started training 2013.
Okay.
First amateur fight in 2014. I was training at a local gym here in Madison. Okay. Now I train in Milwaukee. I've been in Milwaukee for about over a year.
Oh, you must be having a blast. The Bucks are out there.
Yeah, man, the Bucks, they do their thing, man. But the mill is rough,
Yeah.
It's like Jersey's rough too, I mean, it's rough anywhere you go. That's a major city, but Milwaukee's cool. I like the urban environment. The urban feel. We got that under that Rough Rider feel. You know what I mean? We all feel like we got something to prove, and we do. You know what I mean? Those boys out there, man, they rough, man. They some Rough Riders. Man.
I didn't know that. I figured like Wisconsin's like cheese and shit. You're telling me it's difficult out there in Milwaukee. I had no idea.
Real Phil. I mean, you got to think Chicago is like an hour and 15 minutes away from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people migrate from Chicago and come to another bigger city, which is Milwaukee. And Chicago is one of the biggest cities in the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? Third biggest city in America.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Milwaukee's rough, man. Milwaukee's rough.
It's rough out
and
there.
I'm an hour away from Milwaukee. I live in Madison, so I drive an hour back and forth.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, shit happens. Shit happens. I live.
I kind of got off that topic a little bit, but
okay. Listen, dude.
Started my career in Wisconsin. Started my career in Wisconsin. Yeah, back in 2014. Been training.
Did you do any sports before that? Did you do like wrestling or anything before that?
I did a year wrestling.
Okay.
My year, but not really, man. I was always athletic, but I was always back and forth with sports. Did a few years of basketball, but no, not really.
Wow. So that's pretty interesting. And then I actually talked about this with Justin Gonzalez. He fights it's SCL. He's making his way into the Contender Series too.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. We were talking about like how the level of athlete is changing in the sport and how people who don't necessarily like have like the traditional karate or taekwondo or whatever those like traditional martial art backgrounds like don't start off that way and then like find these gyms where they can learn everything. Like they can learn everything that they need to learn as far as mixed martial arts goes. Like there's mixed martial arts gyms everywhere and we're getting like really good at you in particular too. Like when I watch you fight, you have like more of like it looks like a very like your head movement's very orthodox boxing, but like your stance is kickboxing. I like. So what kind of things do you work out at your gym? Like is it like notoriously a kickboxing gym, or is that just the style that you're comfortable with?
Well, kickboxing was the first art I got into.
Right.
Which is kind of a hybrid kickboxing gym, like a martial arts dojo.
Right.
But yeah, man, we work everything. We work everything in our gym. I say our gym, man. The biggest thing is just being open. You know what I mean? Freeing your mind and being open to other outlooks. You know what I mean? Like everybody calls this strike a karate strike. What is it? It's a fucking strike. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you know what I mean? It's a
Yeah.
strike. So just really
Whatever
working
works.
whether it's a karate strike or not, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
whatever, you know, like hook kicks, you know, people are like, oh, that's a karate move, taekwondo move,
Right.
whatever. Thai guys throwing hook kicks.
Right.
You know what I mean? Learning
Right.
that technique, you know, learning these techniques and adding it into your game. That's really what it is, you know what I mean? So, like, at our gym, yeah, we work everything, you know? And and what I like about my coaches is they work with my type of style. You know, they see my mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
We focus on mechanics. They see my body style, and they blend me towards what the type of fighter I can be with the type of potential that I have. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, man, I'm good. You know, I'm good everywhere. I'm definitely.
No, you're very well rounded. You have some vicious fucking knees. I will tell you that right now. You have like a compilation on your Instagram of just like finishing dudes with your knees. That's it's difficult to like just kind of pick up these moves, but like it just shows your fight IQ. Like you said before, like all right, yeah, like I guess the illusion I can make too is like the NFL, right? Like if you watch a team run a certain set of plays, like other teams will run the same out routes are still out routes, slants are still slant. You know what I mean? Like other coaches will come up with different names for different shit. So it's not really important to know what they're called as much as like how to execute those moves. And your skill set it's very smooth. It's very technical. I enjoy everyone. It's like the easiest thing to say. Like I love watching Striker strike. Like of course, like everyone likes watching Striker strike, but watching good Striker strike is another thing. And you're definitely in that. Clearly, you're making to the fucking Contender series. Like you know what I mean? Like so I saw you fight Dominic Garcia LFA 29. I love LFA. LFA is a really good promotion.
I love LFA.
You fight over several promotions. I've seen you LFA, and then there's the one that I saw that you and Blake fought in, or it looked like Blake that one that Blake fought in. It's like it's in a baseball field.
Yeah, that's what we both fought there. That's where we met.
Right. So how do you come across these promotions, or just something that your manager it's like, hey, take this fight here, or whatever the case may be? Are you choosing these fights based on availability, or just promotion value? Like how does that work out? Because LFA is like a really good promotion.
Well, my past few fights have been with LFA, other than the series fight. So I've basically been the LFA fighter, but so most of these promotions have been like local promotions that I've established a relationship since in the amateur scenes, you know what I mean? So like Three River Throwdown, I had my first amateur fight with those guys. I was their first champion as an amateur. I had my pro debut with those guys. Pure FC, that's our gym show. So that's my coach's show. Chosen Feud, a local show here in Madison. I was a champion for those guys as well.
You're just getting it where you fit it. Just get it anywhere, man.
Yeah, I mean, for the biggest part, it was more like, I was doing my thing, continue to establish my brand and my name here in Madison and in Wisconsin, and also in the Minnesota area as well, because I fought up there a lot too. Half my fights been up there.
It's important. It's important to do that, like especially, and looks like from most of the things that I've seen on YouTube that they've done a very good job at like putting your name out there as far as like doing coverage and putting up like highlight reels and stuff of that matter. So people just think like the fighting aspect of it is obviously it's the most important part of what you do. That's what you identify yourself with, but your brand, like you said before, like your brand and like the back end business aspect of it is almost as important as like trying to break that mold. That's how you get invitations to the Contender. That's how you get onto people's radars. So it looks like you're doing everything you need to do to put yourself in the position to succeed.
Oh yeah, man. I've always watched fighters. Like I grew up watching WWE, man, so I know how important it is to establish a brand for yourself. So that ain't nothing. That's nothing. That's something that has to come with it. You gotta understand that you're a business, and that's something that I don't need to think about. I guess I just myself, whether it comes off, it rubs people the wrong way or whatever. You know what I mean? Just me and myself.
And
You know what I mean?
that was gonna be my next thing, and I heard, so they even alluded to it when you were fighting Dominic Garcia. Is that some people find you cocky, and in his case, he's found you cocky and arrogant, and so where is that? Is that you just said yourself like you just do that? That's like where you're at. Like I as someone who enjoys watching the sport, I want to see that. Like anyone who's like good at doing that, good fighter, and is able to promote themselves the best, and is able to perform like you are clearly performing. That's that's what I want to see. I want entertaining fighters. Not that people who don't do that are not as entertaining. Like Jose Aldo doesn't need to do that shit, but it just adds that little extra element, especially in America. Like it's an easier sell. So I did want to bring that up, but like it's not like a facade, and like you can feel when people are kind of like trying to force that persona, that over the top persona. But you beat Ben Ross, and you're like as much as you are like an emotional person, like I guess cocky. You wear your heart on your sleeve. Like you're very emotional at the end of that fight, and that's something I value too. Like as someone who's like, oh well, this is a real life person out here, like who is not scared of like putting himself out on not only his life on the line, but is also willing to put his emotions and everything else on the line for people to see. Like you're not shying away from it. Like you're a star in the making, in my personal opinion.
Oh man, thank you, man. Thank you for that belief in me, man. Because I never doubted believing in myself, and that's really what it comes from.
Right.
Is my belief in myself. Some fights are different. Some fights there's different energy.
Right.
You know what I mean? With it, I mean, I guess I'm better with it. I don't. Whether people say I'm cocky or whatever, that comes from my confidence in my own belief in myself. Because I said I was going to be where I'm at today.
Yeah.
And I still got way more to prove. So for me, seeing my beliefs in myself manifest into a reality,
right.
It's like no, and I'm not even halfway done to where I want to get, where I am going to get to.
Right.
My goal is obviously to be a world champion. I'm looking at John Jones. You know what I mean?
Right.
Those are people I'm looking at. You know what I mean? So for me,
I mean, you're at 205, so you're essentially in the UFC at this point. Like you're fighting for the Contender Series, so it's like when you're starting.
My second go around too on the Contender Series. The last time, it wasn't that I didn't believe in myself. It was that I started doubting myself. And once you get that ounce of doubt, your performance starts to go out the window, and that's it. And it happens. You know what I mean? Experience, whatever. I got another year to get better.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
Right. I mean, like clearly, this is where your heart's at as far as like what you want to do, and I mean, you're back. At square one as far as and that's very difficult for people to do. It's difficult for people to come off of a loss on a big stage, and then come back with your mindset like, fuck it, I still want to fight John Jones. You know what I mean? Like I still want to climb my way up that ladder. It's hard to do that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. I'm coming for that dude, man. John Jones, man. Yeah, hell yeah, man. I mean.
I love it.
I want that belt.
But
you know what I mean? I'm here to get back. I'm here to change my family life. My son needs his milk and Cheerios. You know what I mean? So
no Wheaties? That's the Olympic. It's the Olympic cereal. No Wheaties, just Cheerios.
Hey, we eating good around here. You know what I mean? Wheaties outdated. Cheerios never outdated.
Oh man, I love it. But yeah, man, it's great. So like, you have a culmination of events to lead up to where you're at now, and your skill set and your work ethic has put you right back into a position where you're trying to succeed again, and your confidence is high, and it's great. And you said yourself in that loss, you felt like you had some doubt in yourself as far as going out there and performing. What have you done differently to mitigate? I guess was it an emotional response? Was it just like what was it?
Other than, I mean, I lost.
Yeah.
Other than that, I lost. But I mean, really, when I go and say my self belief, and then that doubt, I had doubted myself. I'm not going to sit here and say that's why I lost, but
right.
I did have those things happening. And when those things happen, it leads to a ripple effect of things that start to happen. You know what I mean? Whether with your performance, your mind is your biggest. Your mind controls everything.
Right.
So if you're starting to doubt yourself, it's gonna affect your performance. It's gonna affect everything. So for me, all I did was just got back in the gym, just got back to grinding, man. Focusing on getting better everywhere. You know what I mean? becoming a better man, becoming a better father,
right?
becoming more in tune with myself, becoming more in touch with myself.
Yeah.
I got changes with just having a sports psychologist on my team now, and just getting better, man.
It's
Honestly,
important,
better and focusing on being putting my best performance out every single day.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like interesting. Like, you see people, not even in the position that you're at, like trying to get into like the ranks where you can be like, ultimately, I love your attitude, by the way, as far as like I want to fight John Jones. It's like I feel like everyone needs to have that mindset in order to get to that level. Like you can only do so much with athleticism and skill. Like the mindset is just as important, because that's a possibility. Someone can get hurt and you have to fill in, like, or you might just get thrusted an opportunity, like, like OSP, like when he fought John Jones, like no one, I don't think he was like next in line, like as far as the rankings go. Like, I don't remember if he was a fill-in. I know it was short notice. I don't remember exactly if it was a fill-in or not, though. Say again.
It was a fill-in fight.
Yeah, it was a fill-in fight. So, like, kudos to OSP showing up and lasting. I think he lasted all 5 rounds. I don't think he got finished. Which is like, that's like a big deal, going against somebody that you have basically not prepared for at all. Going up to fight John Jones, one of the greatest of all time. So your mindset is necessary. Like, your mindset is necessary to succeed and get there. And it's refreshing to see people with this level of momentum behind them going into the Contender Series, and ultimately I think that's what makes the Contender Series great. It's like, and there's no college football for the UFC. It's like, and not that like this is like a developmental league, because I feel like people going into Contender Series are like pretty developed. There's always room to grow, but it's not like the same. Like I love this every year. Every year they're like, Alabama should play the worst team in the NFL, and I'm like, they would get fucking crushed. Like, it wouldn't even be like remotely close. Where I don't feel the same way about the Contender Series. I feel like a fight's a fight. Like, anyone's got the opportunity to win a fight. But in that regard, this is like a good way for us to see like up and coming prospects. You being one of those prospects.
Oh yeah, man. I'm excited for this opportunity, man. And I mean, the platform of the Contender Series is, it's the future. It really is. I mean, you can say it's the present, but it's the future.
Yeah.
And it's only continue to get better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the future of everything is digital, everything's on the app. You know what I mean? So man. I'm ready. Man.
I'm tuned in. Like, this is why I have ESPN Plus. You know what I mean? Like, I have ESPN Plus so I can watch this. They were doing it before. They were just releasing it on YouTube, I think, before, and I think they still might.
They were doing it on Fight Pass. They had looking for a fight.
Gotcha.
They got some Contender Series fights on YouTube too.
Right.
That's released at later dates, but if you want to watch it live, you got to get ESPN Plus.
And they're doing, I was a little iffy about the move to ESPN Plus, because I was like, what is that going to do? Like, you see some people like, Brock Lesnar, he's like, I don't want to do it because I'm not going to get the amount of money that I was going to get before. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry about that. Sorry, I didn't mean to break you up. But with Brock, it's more of the timing. It hasn't taken off yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is the future.
Yeah, and I think ultimately it's going to even out the pay scale. Where it was like all over the place before. It's like, like somebody like who's got a million fights but is not like necessarily the most successful is going to get more paid than someone who's got fight of the night or has performed the most. But I think they're doing everything they can to like make it. I mean, it's already mainstream at this point. It's on ESPN. Like, it was on ESPN2. I think prelims go on ESPN2 or whatever the case may be. So they're doing, and then they had that machine of Fox just for the last couple of years, just like getting everyone's name out that way. So I think the brand has been fully established, if it has not been for like at least the last 10 years. But now the access of ease is like way better than it was before. So now you can watch fighting every single night. Like, if you're a fan of the sport, it's crazy.
There's some type of fight going on. Like, I just watch LFA fights.
Yeah.
I appreciate the sport. I watch the LFA fights on Friday.
Yeah.
It's fun all the time, and with ESPN, they got the PFL deal as well.
Yeah. So man,
this fight's constantly going on there.
Constantly.
I watch Thursday with those. So
one championship is great. Bellator's great. I feel like Bellator's ramping it up now. As far as like the level of athlete and level of like skilled athlete there. And another one that I really like. That's they do a lot in New Jersey. The CFFC. It's on Fight Pass. Yeah. They just had one yesterday in California.
They're like LFA. They're like an LFA brand. So,
right.
they're both pretty big.
I don't know
They're
about
both
CM Punk doing the commentary. I should probably chill with that. But
oh yeah, I forgot he did that. I forgot he did that.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird hearing somebody who's been mauled like horribly in the UFC like try to give like fighters who are doing like at the best they can in a very touch method like pointers or like telling them like trying to direct the fight. Like it's like I'm not feeling it.
I mean, if you could do it well,
yeah.
Okay. I mean, listen, John Anik, he's not a fighter, but
he's great though.
But he's great.
Yeah.
He studies the sport. He's invested into the sport. So if he can go, I mean, CM Punk's been all right, look, he's not a high level fighter, but he's been invested in the sport. So if he can watch an actual fight, like I got a friend Peter who can go and break down fight. He's not a fighter, but he can break down a fight. He can go up there and do an analyst job for sure.
Right.
So it's just how you do it. You know what I mean?
Right. But my argument for him though is like it's like he doesn't really he just doesn't have the knowledge base. You know what I mean? Like he's like giving people like pointers and shit that like don't really apply to the situation or like he'll be like, oh he needs to do this and then to be successful, oh he's doing real well, and then like turns around like he's concurrently. I just feel like that's a very big stage for him to just like try to find out how to be a commentator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like armchair quarterbacking, like just from like a casual fan, and it's like I know like Laura Sanko is like pretty good, and she fought, so I would much rather have her or Misha Tate or anyone else associated with her.
Well, too, she trains.
Yeah,
she still trains.
Yeah. I see. She puts it up every now and then. Laura Sanko on her page. She's drilling jiu-jitsu and doing everything that she needs to do. She's great. There's so many. There are a lot of names out there that I would have put ahead. But I understand. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So at least they didn't put him in the UFC to do it though.
Yeah. I understand the move though as far as like a marketing tool, because like it's CM Punk. You talked about it yourself. You watch WWE. I used to watch WWE when I was a kid. CM Punk is a huge name in the world of WWE, and the fan crossover is very big too. There are a lot of people that watch the WWE, and there are a lot of people that'll watch the UFC, and partly because of CM Punk. So he did bridge that gap a little bit more. Of course, Brock Lesnar was that big the biggest gap bridger. And then Ronda Rousey going over there and doing what she did. But I understand the move, and it probably helped them out in a big way. But it's just like annoying watching him do it. But
yeah, I feel you on that.
But
I didn't watch the event.
Go ahead.
I said I didn't watch the event though, so I can't speak on it.
Yeah. But yeah, man. It's thank you for finding time in your busy ass schedule to come and kick it right before you go to work. That means a lot. It really means a lot to me that people are able to make my content better by being featured on it.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I'm just chilling. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing to talk about fighting. You know what I mean? We're gonna do it again in the future. So anytime you want to come back on. Is there anything that you wanted to plug before you went out? Businesses that helped you out, sponsors, people, anything you want to talk about. This is your. Yeah, I want to shout out to my sports psychologist Dylan Nadler and Monlock. They're based out in Canada, in Toronto. I mean the kids has been doing an amazing job with me, man. I'm locked so many aspects of not even fighting, but just my mindset that I didn't even know that I had. You know what I mean? So shout out to Monlock, shout out to Dylan Nadler, shout out to my team, Purdy to BJJ. Shout out to the best manager in the game, Jason House, and the whole team at Iridium Sports Agency. And yeah, that's about it, man.
So, that's something you mentioned before. Do you do like meditation and stuff like that? Like yoga, anything like that?
I meditate. Yeah, I meditate. I don't meditate as often as I should, but I do it a few times a week.
When you have the time.
Sometimes I'm trying to do it every day, but I do it a few times a week for sure.
Right.
Always, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's necessary. Like to take care of your mind and your body is just as important as anything else. And it looks like you're taking the right steps to do that. So,
awesome. Hell yeah, man!
Thank you for making number 18. I had a blast. I'm gonna get this edited. You're welcome back whenever you want. Hit me up whenever you feel like it. You don't have to just hit up just for the interview, but that's on the table too. Like literally whenever you want to do it, get some shit off your chest. We don't have to just talk about fighting. I had Willis on. Like I don't know what my friend Willis Black. He fights in the WXC. We talked about like conspiracies for like fucking 3 hours, like shit like that. So Whenever
Yeah.
you get,
Oh yeah, man. We'll have some more conversations that we can just kind of drift on. You know what I mean?
we got some
Yeah, this is
time.
good work. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah. Hey, listen. What did 50 Cent say? He said some shit like "sleep is for those who are broke."
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
This is true.
They're eating good, eating Cheerios and milk and shit. You got to get that Cheerio milk budget on point for the
Nah,
youngin.
man. The milk and Cheerios for my boy, man. Just making sure. You know what I mean? It's more of an analogy to just saying, man, make sure I got food on the plate for the. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Everybody eating on my table.
I feel you, dog. I feel you. But hey, man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hit me up whenever, man.
Hey, man. Thank you, man. Stay blessed, brother. Talk to you soon, bro.
Talk to you, see Alton.
Send me the link of this too.
Say again?
I said send me the link as well for it, and I'll share it.
Well, I'm going to what I'm going to do is because I'm just recording it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to record it. I have like a producer, and then like I send it to my producer. He edits it, puts like a thing on it, and then like every Wednesday I've been doing it. I've just been streaming it live. So I do like a little bit of a breakdown right before, like, this is like my thoughts on the fighter, XYZ. Usually, and 30 minutes is perfect. That's just about this. Like, the last few ones have been like an hour, but the majority of mine have been 30 minutes.
Okay.
So I do like a 5-minute hot take.
Well, we can go longer next time. I just
Dude,
I just
gotta
gotta
work.
get to work.
You don't have to apologize. No feelings hurt here.
Yeah.
I got you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got you. But yeah, man. Yeah. So I send it to him. He'll edit it. I have one to stream this Wednesday, so I'm gonna stream yours next Wednesday, if that's okay.
That's cool.
Cool. Also, that whole week I do like I cut a promo. I don't know if you've seen my page before, but I cut a promo for the fighter. I do like one quick highlight, and then I do like 2 promos. That, and then I do like one with your voice on it. So I'll send you both of those.
Okay, sounds good, bro.
All right, brother. Stay safe.
All
Be
right.
careful out there. It's crazy as shit. I want you to be safe and careful.
Later, my guy.